What's up, everybody? How you doing? And welcome back to another episode of Living Life Intently. I'm your host, Lee Frazier. And
Jonathan Canary.
This is going to be an ongoing thing. We're back with another episode of this podcast, obviously, because you're listening to it right now. What? Don't rush me. Don't rush me. I'm going to talk in my own pace. Anyways, before we jump into the podcast, as always, I'm going to mention that we've got the preseason sale for our glamping tents and experience packages on until March 31st. We've got some new overnight and multi-day trips coming up for Margaret River in the spring and fall. They'll be announced by the end of March. If you're interested in those, we've got new rentals coming online soon. So for canoes, kayaks, pack rafts, camping gear, tents, sleep mags, all that sort of stuff will be on the website super soon, ready for the summer. We're actually halfway across the Highlands right now if you're listening to this. And
no doubt I'll have my phone on.
Oh, yeah. You'll probably see Canary. If you're following him on Instagram, you'll definitely see him. Yeah, so we're halfway across the Highlands, and but today the podcast that you're going to be listening to was recorded in Ingonish. We're here at Salty Roses and Periwinkle Café, chatting about how they got set up and what's on the burner for this coming season, I think. I don't know.
Let's do it. Let's just get right in there.
Okay, yep, you're listening to Living Life Intently. We're just jumping right in. Okay, see you next week. Peace.
Everybody.
There we go again.
No, go ahead. Kick it up.
So we are in Ingonish today. We actually did 2 podcasts in one day, but you're going to hear this a week late. We are at the Periwinkle Café, or is it Salty Roses and the Periwinkle Café, right? I got that correct. It's not the other way around. Mm-hmm. Cool. We're sitting here. Jonathan and I are down for a visit. It is windy as hell, but the sun is out. And we're enjoying a nice coffee. Well, thank you for the coffee.
Coffee's important.
Why don't you guys introduce yourselves and we'll jump right in.
I'm Caitlin Purcell, co-owner of Salty Roses and the Periwinkle Café. I run the craft shop side of things.
I'm Sara Beth Drover, Caitlin's first cousin and also co-owner of the business. And I run the cafe and I run the inn that we own together as well.
Mm-hmm.
You do the housekeeping too?
Not only sometimes.
Desperate times.
Only right now.
The struggle is real. The struggle is real.
So beautiful up there.
Thanks.
Yeah, so cool.
Thanks.
Who did the design work for the bedrooms? Because I just saw new pictures that you put up the other day. Mm-hmm, yeah, it looks amazing.
Thank you. The house has a lot of character, and we just wanted to work with what was here. So when we kind of secured the location in 2016, it was horrible inside, really, just like horrible.
It had good bones.
It had good bones, yes.
Oh, yeah, that's the usual tale. What was this place before? You guys got it?
Privately owned. So I think for about 20 years, it was owned just by an American who would come down in the summer times. He would rent it sometimes. And before that, Vernon Amos, a local painter, owned it. He had a gallery here.
So that would have been like in the 90s.
The
90s when we were kids. So some local people would have come for like watercolor lessons and stuff here.
Yeah.
But then it does have like a deeper history. Like it was a guest house for like people, like truckers and stuff that were delivering along the Cabot Trail before the Cabot Trail was what it is today.
Mm-hmm.
Like a dirt path.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was one of the first inns in the area, actually, and it would have been for like traveling work people.
But the building is funny too. It's like obviously this part that we're in right now, the more like Victorian style, was their obviously the original part. And then there's definitely been like extensions and different renditions in other eras.
Yeah. It's hard to really track down the history because when you go into the basement, you're like, which part was first? But you can see that there were different decades of additions happening.
Cool. Yeah, and different structures of financing for each one. It might have been like, not enough money for this part. That's what I'm finding on my house now.
Yeah.
I'm doing renos on. Yeah, so, and you guys started, when was it? 2016, you say?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that would have been around the same year as we started. crazy. I thought you guys were open way before us.
We had the craft shop since 2011.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, down the road.
Yeah.
By the Home Hardware. So we had a smaller location there that was just craft.
And was both of you guys running that as well?
No, that was Caitlin.
There you go.
Yeah,
there
so
you go.
2016 we went into business together. We'd been daydreaming for a couple of years.
Yeah, we had different plans because Sara Beth wanted to do like a little coffee wagon on the side of the craft shop, which would have been super nice. But then, the wagon turned into a
4,000 square foot in cafe craft shop studio. Yeah.
When you guys opened, did you do it in stages? Like, did you have the accommodations later or all at once?
All at once.
Wow.
No, we jumped in.
Yeah.
I think there's something to be like when you're a little naive and you're like, let's just have some rooms up here.
Yeah.
Cafe, no problem. And so we figured it out as we went.
Flying by the seat of your pants.
Hey, yeah, I know all about that.
Same with the renovation. Like, we stripped the whole interior and put it back together.
Yeah.
Like, not like we continued to do work to this very day, but that first initial, like, to make it look like, kind of like it does now, we did in 10 weeks, which, like, the help of
Crazy.
every, like, our husbands and friends, neighbors,
Cousins.
people
Whoever
pulled
really
off the
was
street.
walking down the road.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we got a lot done. And the first year, it didn't look like as amazing as maybe we wanted, but
You got it done.
yeah,
and you
we
got
opened.
open.
Yeah, we opened.
Yeah.
So
That was the same deal with us. Like, I remember the first year getting the big tents that we got, and they were very, very stripped down. They were literally 4 beds and like a box on the side with like your cookware. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, this is it.
this is great.
Yeah, yeah. And then kind of I remember getting them up, and then the next week I had people in them. So I was like, let's just get things sorted.
Yeah. We actually had people in the rooms, and they were like the sweetest couple. And
There was no door handle.
there was like downstairs, like there was literally in this like nice sitting room, there was like a drop sheet, and like literally you couldn't see the floor for tools. And we're like, open it tomorrow. And I remember like at that time I was still like idyllic and thought we would use like all vintage glassware. And I was like setting it all out at like 2 a.m. And they were like, came down, they're like, we just love it. Like, they were the sweetest people. And we were just like, thank God you're the first. Like, in hindsight, you're like, thank God they were the first guests. Cause and now like hundreds and hundreds, thousands probably of guests later.
Yeah. And where did you guys pull inspiration from doing the interior design here?
Well, we knew we wanted it bright so that the artwork could be showcased. And that's still something that we think about, but it was all white in the beginning. And over the past few years, we've definitely added some color here and there, and I think painted a wall. And
there was so much weird crap happening in the building, like before we stripped it back, that I think all white was like the only like question in our head. Like, one room was purple, one room was pink, one room was aqua, one room like was maroon, and you're just like, white. People are like, so what color will this room be? We're like, white. Everything's white. Nothing else, just white.
And we couldn't like make those decisions at the time.
Yeah.
And, so now we're kind of like dabbling in the color, color world, which is super fun and kind of adds some character to the place. Yeah.
Nice to start with a blank canvas.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I like the design is like, I think when you go into a space, like, it's really like was born of like necessity and like what we had to work with at the time. Like, we're like pretty resourceful in finding things, whether or doing them ourselves or convincing someone else to do them for us.
Yeah.
So, we definitely spent a lot of time searching for the right items, but sometimes things just like fell into our lap, or like so many features that you see that are super cool about the building. For example, like the 1940s wallpaper that's like, newspaper that's on the walls in the bathroom. Like, obviously that was here, and we were just like, we really tried to play on anything cool that came out.
Yeah.
We'd save some work doing that. Okay, great. Yeah, okay. Looks okay.
Yeah, let's keep it. And definitely like the contractors. And at the time you're like, no, you can't cover up the wallpaper. And they're like, what? Like, but we're happy because so many people go in the bathroom and they're just like, whoa, this is amazing.
Is that original? You're like, yes.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. The dealing with a lot of the contractors around here, when you come into a place and you want something that's a little bit different or use the characters that are there, some of the guys are kind of blind to the vision of it because they're so used to the same things over and over and over and over again, the kind of status quo.
Yeah.
So, I found that out a little difficult. We almost made some pretty horrible decisions because I was like, yeah, it's fine. And then I was like down the road thinking about like, oh my God, don't do that.
Yeah.
And I'm like racing back to my house to tell them not to.
Definitely.
Yeah, sorry.
I was just going to say we're really lucky in that Caitlin's husband is a heritage carpenter, and my husband's kind of the type that I'm like, oh yeah, like live edge shelves, and then I come back and I'm like, oh, that's better than I imagined. Okay, great, let's continue on. I didn't think that drawer would be so functional and pretty, but great. Like, so we've never actually hired a contractor, so we're pretty spoiled.
The secret's out.
I know.
Yeah.
We just force our husbands to do everything.
Yeah, they love us.
So, the craft side, you have a lot of artists on there.
Yeah, I think we represent about 30 different artisans, 30 or 40 at this point. Everybody's from Nova Scotia, and really highlight on jewelry making. We have a studio here, so we're teaching lessons sometimes and doing on-the-spot repairs or resizing. So I think that's kind of like a unique aspect to the shop. And artwork, prints, cards.
Yeah, Caitlin's amazing at curating. I mean, she's been developing these relationships with Nova Scotia artisans for 11 years now or more. So, it feels like it's a really good collection at this point. But still always
things change.
Finding more.
That's kind of like, the dynamic thing about art and craft is like each year you never really know what you're going to get, and artists are coming out with new collections, and that's always fun and inspiring for us. And I think that having new things keeps us inspired too. So we always get excited about the products that we sell here. Yeah. It's definitely not about quantity, but the quality and the special, like little things that you can find. So.
And do you make your own jewelry, correct?
I do. So I have my own stuff that I sell here. I have a collection that I make with my good friend Sara Beth as well. Yeah. And so we have that. And then my sister's a jeweler, so we sell her work. My mother's a jeweler, we sell her work. And just a bunch of other Nova Scotian.
Have you had any kind of like memorable custom pieces that you love doing?
Oh my God.
Maybe horror? Maybe horror custom pieces?
Some from both departments, I would say. But I mean, I've made engagement rings for my one for my sister, one for my cousin. And it's always so nice to make ones for people who and you get to see them wearing it all the time and see them love it. And that's definitely the most special. Yeah. Has there been, what's your process when it comes down to kind of designing new pieces? Like what's your kind of creative process? Do you pull inspiration from stuff around here or stuff you sell in the shop or? Yeah, nature sometimes, definitely inspired by nature when it comes to production pieces. If I'm making a custom, a ring for an engagement ring or something, I definitely think about the client. That's definitely most important because I want people to be happy. I don't want to be dealing with it again in a year. So, just, looking at the type of person that's going to be wearing it, choosing the materials that suit them. So we definitely go through all these things in the design process and try to come up with something that's going to make everybody happy. Yeah, that's it. And you guys are now open in the wintertime, correct? Sometimes. Sometimes. The rooms are definitely open. We're not fully functional in the cafe and shop, but shop by appointment. We do have everything all set up to be open at any given time. And we're doing some events this winter as well. But we're not fully functional in the winter at this point, but definitely the rooms are ready to go. So you can come and stay. The accommodations are here, and we've been doing bagels on Saturdays, so that's been fun and just exciting to see people back in the area in the wintertime. It's been pretty quiet for the last few years, and COVID didn't help, obviously, but I think people are just itching to get outside and move their body, and people are stoked about the ski hill. Mm-hmm. So in years to come, it's a real formative year this year, I think, for the ski hill and stuff. And I think as they kind of put back on the map, as a winter destination, more things. Oh, you got to get bagels out? Check the bagels. Oh, there you go. It smells crazy. So as far as Smokey is concerned, it's been I'm on the other side of the Cabot Trail, so I see what's I see social media and I see people visiting it, but has there been a
an uptick this year
Yeah.
for people visiting Ingonish?
I mean, it's always hard to know what the one like factor is. Like this October, like more and more of the fall is becoming like cuckoo for tourism.
I know.
Whereas like,
I know.
you know, so like October was nuts. Was it because we've been in COVID? Was it because the ski hill like was open for the gondola and
Yeah.
everybody wanted to go up? Like, I think it was like a real factor. Like there was a couple days in October where like the traffic looked like a parade. Like it was there was that much traffic. Like, and you're like, what's going on here? So, I think it will like continue to be a draw for the area and along with all the other stuff. But, and then I think it will be the driving force for a resurgence in winter tourism in the area.
Is there a lot of other businesses that are like, is this the first winter you guys are open for the accommodations open in the wintertime?
We kind of dabbled in it in the past, but it was never anything consistent.
Yeah.
So this year, I think, you're seeing people come down every weekend, and
Yeah.
it will just definitely grow. I mean, January, it's been a funny winter.
You know, it's also, we're still in COVID
raining.
and the weather is always unpredictable.
I know. Especially this winter, it seems like every weekend is like rain on the weekend
It's horrible.
and snow on the midweek.
Yeah. And
So-
so hopefully March is a really snowy March.
I'm hoping. Yeah, we got a trip on Monday, and it's like looking. It's looking a little wet on the second and third days.
Yeah.
But who knows? Hopefully back the mountain's going to be like freezing cold, like minus
Yeah.
10, snow, not rain. But
Every day that it's -5, I'm like, perfect. Stay.
Yeah.
Stay like this. Do not go up to +7, 8, 10.
No.
yeah, I've seen there's been like in the last 2 years, been a big uptick in interest, like on my side, my perspective, just on like winter activities.
Yeah.
So people wanting to rent gear, do any backcountry stuff. Last winter, because we had such a snowy, cold winter, I met dozens of people doing touring, like backcountry skiing. So to be cars up on like North Mountain when it was open, at the shelter there, kind of like the safety shelter, there would probably be like 3 or 4 cars in there and a bunch of people backcountry skiing.
Wow.
Yeah, when we did the trip from Meat Cove to Pleasant Bay, when we got out of Pollett's Cove, there was ski tracks all over the place. When you come out of Pollett's Cove, you use the trail to come out, and then we took. It's kind of like part of the original Seawall Trail route, and you kind of come up off the hill when you're leaving Pollett's Cove, and instead of following the trail out, you just go up the mountain, and there's all these kind of like spines, whatever, on your way out. And as soon as
Come out in Red River.
Yeah. So as soon as we got over there, but you can have access from North Mountain. So when we got over there, it was just like ski tracks everywhere.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So there is people doing it. You don't hear about it much. And the park, I talked to some people with the park here, before the winter, and they were saying how they were possibly hoping to open up the visitor center here. I don't know if they did this
They
year.
are
It is
open,
open, yeah.
Yeah.
You can do snowshoe rentals, and they have been grooming the Clybourne Trail.
Yeah. So
Really?
they're doing a like,
Pilot program.
to
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They were,
Which I don't know if it would be the one that I would groom, because it's already so well visited that it's like packed down every single day. And, Marion Falls or Warren's Lake, even like you really have to break trail if you want to go in there. But I'm happy to hear they're doing it anyway.
yeah, because it was a big push to do it.
Yeah.
The first time I ever snowshoed, I did on a DCBA shoot. And we did the Clybourne Trail and Clybourne Valley. And there were points where even with the snowshoes on, we were like up to our waist in snow. And it was the hardest day I've ever had. Like carrying a camera on my back.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it was beautiful though.
Worse than Franny?
Worse than Franny, yeah.
Wow.
Totally.
Crazy. So I'm glad to hear that they're grooming that.
Yeah.
Is it groomed just for snowshoeing, or is it groomed for like with the ski tracks and
I think
stuff
they're
too?
doing the ski.
No, I don't think there's tracks,
Oh, okay.
but you could use like backcountry skis.
Oh man, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I thought they were going to do, but I never really, I haven't been up this way pretty much all winter. I think the only other time was when we did Bryson, we're at the hostel for doing the podcast there, and then I went straight home afterwards. So, and that was right before North Highland Nordics opened.
Okay.
So, and I've been trying to get my hands on some backcountry skis, and every time I get to Halifax or go through Truro. The spot in Truro is always closed.
Yeah.
So
You cannot find any. They are like sold out. Even Twanala, like he usually gets in a shipment every year and he couldn't get any.
yeah, well, I'll put it this way. I was getting, I through last fall, I set up accounts with like MSR and a couple different companies because we're going to start a rental program and purchasing program and all that sort of stuff, which we're kind of bringing back this year. But I even tried, by the time I got these accounts set up, it was past the dates to do all the pre-booking, and like tents, snowshoes, stoves, fuel, all of it.
Wow.
Like I can't get access to any of it. Like I've got some coming in, but like the to get it, to guarantee you're going to get it, I'll have to put an order in next month for next spring.
Wow.
That's how far ahead people are booking. Because I've talked to a couple other people. My aunt who has the outdoor store in Bedeck, and she's like, yeah, we're booking for next winter, next spring right now.
Wow.
Just guarantee product.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's great to know because like, just, I think, and COVID it was happening before COVID, and COVID has just kind of like expedited the process.
Yeah.
But like, the return to like kind of like a more like ecotourism and people just wanting to do adventure tourism and everything like that.
I know. It's so much stuff here to do. You got something? You look like you want to say something.
Yeah, no, I mean, you talked about how you had some events. How did the Bite House events go?
Oh, we love them. That's all I want to do.
Yeah. Brian is a really wonderful person to collaborate with. He makes everything so easy and he's organized and customers are happy. Food is good. Good time.
Yeah, the food's amazing. People are just so darn happy to get to have the experience that they're just like elated.
They're like, I've been waiting for 5 years to go to the Bite House. And you're like, yes.
I know. I'm like, how did I get to be the one in control of this? So yeah, it's really awesome. We've done like 8 or so now. We've got a bunch lined up for this season. So, it's super exciting. Kind of like we're just like, Brian is just amazing and so good at what he does. He's a genius in the kitchen and also just like so humble. So it's just like, amazing. And then like we get to focus on like what we also like to do, creating that experiences,
the service and the aesthetic and all of those things, which is
really nice. And now we're really well set up for it. So.
Are you doing one? Is it one every month?
Yeah.
Much.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've got one coming up next weekend.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
And when do you announce them? Do you give like, is it like every month, a month ahead of time, or kind of just throw all the dates up in one date and see how they book?
Yeah, we did 3. Like we didn't, Brian would do a whole year at once. I don't even know how he could manage that. We did 3 months. So 3 events.
Yeah.
And
I think last year we did 4 or 5 for the summer. And I was like, it took me like a good 14 hours to get it like back to everyone. And this one was a little more chill because it's like winter time. So like not everyone can come,
Yeah.
But it's really, obviously it's super gratifying to have people like want to come and like have that experience and then to be able to like offer the experience with Brian's food. It's just, I think it like works well for both of us. So,
and there's even people coming from like New Brunswick for the winter dinner. So,
Really?
Yeah. That's
They staying here?
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Crazy. Yeah, we have I've one booked with Brian officially this year, I think, or maybe 2. I can't remember. I think it's at least 1. It's 4-hour like season opener when like everything that we do becomes available, which is just it's Canada Day, like July 1st is usually the date. And so we're doing the barbecue again this year, which was a blast. I think he's streamlined that a little bit, so he's not at my place at like 5 a.m. smoking for like 15 hours. But yeah, those are always fun because we did them 2 years ago and then we did a couple last year. And yeah, it's great.
You guys had crab legs one year, did you?
Yeah. So my friend who has a place he's one of the buyers in Chetty Camp. So he's got a wharf that he runs, and I texted him and he showed up with literally a fish, like the square fish tubs on the back of his truck, like full of crab. And and we did, so he did the crab and Brian did I think we had brisket that time. That was the first one we did. And then after that he did like a tuna, was it? Was that the one? Was it seared tuna?
Yeah, it was a tuna steak.
Yeah. Yeah, that was really good. And the beef ribs one, we did beef ribs. I got from Ben LeBlanc and Marguerite, and we ordered, I think we had like 8 racks of beef ribs, and I called the butcher before he cut them up, and I said, listen, I want to keep as much meat and fat on everything as possible. He goes, okay, I'll leave as much on. So he gives them to us, and they were probably, I don't know, 5 or 6 inches thick of bone and meat and fat and everything. And we pulled them off. When you poked it, it would just kind of like slide.
Oh my God.
Off. And I was eating that the next morning. Like before people checked in, I was in the barn picking it off the table that we were cutting everything up off. Yeah. But yeah, doing events with him, it's so streamlined too, because we do it. We have like Garrett Mason booked this year for Canada Day, so we got Garrett, and usually we do a Garrett Mason show in August, but he was doing a tour in June, so they're like, okay, we'll come down for 2 dates. So yeah, so that's going to be fun. So we just take care of, I just sell it, Brian comes in, cooks it, Garrett plays the music, and then that's it. So
do you sell tickets?
It's more of like a spot sale. Yeah.
Like just show up and see if it happens?
No, it's like we like open reservations, I guess, and then so we open reservations for like the certain dates. Like we're still trying to figure out what the best way to do it is, but we ask for like your preference of dates in like order of preference, and then we try to map it out and fit as many. Like in the summer, it's great because we are half outside. So yeah, we were actually up to, we won't do 40. We won't go right up to 40 in the winter time, but in the summer months we'll do like 40 heads, which is, we can give lots of people that experience.
That's nice. a lot of coordinating by email.
I know.
I just put the booking online. It's like first come, first serve. Fight over it. See you later.
Yeah, maybe we should do that.
Yeah, there might be like an online platform thing that would
Eventbrite.
Right.
Eventbrite. Free. Just do it for free, and then people have to e-transfer after that, and you don't have to pay for the service.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, people like to pay when they're here. But yeah, with Brian, it's just super easy. So. Yeah. I think he like personally like emailed back like the 5,000 people that like wrote in.
It must be crazy on his end.
Yeah, like I just I asked him one time. He's like, "Oh yeah, I just then for 3 days I just write emails," and I'm just like, "Wow."
Like when he used to book up for the entire year in 1 minute, and then have to go through and
I can't imagine.
Like how?
Yeah.
How like
because we're booking 4 dates. That would be like his 1 week.
Yeah,
that would be 1 week of
crazy
his season. Yeah, but it definitely does take a little like time to like figure out. Like the first event, we were just like, oh yeah, fine, they have 40 people, and then we're like, oh, we should have given them separate seating times, like 20 at 6, 20 at 6:30, because like, oh, it's a lot to seat 40 people like at once. Yeah. I'm like, oh, okay, so like, why in my head in like my like 15 or 20 years of restaurant brain, I never was like, oh yeah, I would never take like 20 a table of 40, like a group of 40 at like, or like, have a reservation slot for 40 people. Like you'd be like 15 and then another 15. Easily solved by just
figuring it out.
It's like when you're working in a restaurant and they say, the hostess says, yeah, I just sat a table of 10 for you. You're like, oh,
yeah.
Great. Yeah.
So why did you guys decide to join forces? I mean, I should have asked this before, but why did you decide to join forces and start the Periwinkle and Salty Roses together and buy this building? Like, what was the inspiration for doing it? Because you guys both grow up here, or you had relationships here?
Yeah. So we both summered here. Our moms are sisters, and they have a big family house here. So they would have always summered here back in the day. And Sara Beth and I would both pack up like on grading day and come down and
for the summer, and
come down for the whole summer. Yeah. So we both have fond memories of the area.
Come down from where?
We're just Sydney Mines.
Yeah, I'm from South Bar.
There.
Yeah. So
kind of like my family, the Codys. They had there's like 30 nieces and nephews, and that was like usually not for the whole summer, but would come down for like events, and they all are trying to move back.
Yeah, so
most of them are trying to move to Marguerite.
Well, that's nice. Yeah, it's a nice place to live. And so we were both living away for a bunch of years, and I was in Halifax when I decided I wanted to get out of the city, and I found the little craft shop down the road. I moved down, and I would just spend 6 months of the year here. And so I did that for 5 years. And we had mentioned, Sara Beth and I were kind of talking about collaborating in some way. And then this building came up, and it was just kind of like, I guess we didn't really fully understand what kind of commitment it would be making for us. But
you just saw the end result in your mind.
We really had I think like we even went through like a couple renditions of like where Caitlin, the other location was, like owned by the Island Inns, which like I think Caitlin knew was going to be like put up for sale. So she was feeling like a little bit uncomfortable there. And so the original rendition was like, having like a coffee trailer next to that shop. And we'd like do that for like a couple months a year. And then we had like a little dream about like another place that like we knew was going up for a sale. And then when this one came up, just for some reason, like I don't know that we were ever like, so we're doing this. We were just like, how are we going to get our hands on it? How are we going to like, and then it was just like, before you knew it, I had like sourced like 40 chairs off of Kijiji, and they were like in my house, and I was like, oh,
I'm opening a restaurant. It was a huge property, and it was a really good price also. So, a dear family friend of ours was kind of like, yep, I'm doing this. Like, I'm going to buy it. You're going to run the inn. And, he definitely like just believed in the idea from day one, and, bought it.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. So
it may be, it wasn't actually Sara Beth and I like forking out the cash in the beginning. So in that way, it kind of made it easier because there was somebody else like, on our team who was just like wanted to see it happen and saw the potential in the property as well.
They're from here as well?
Yeah, it's actually my father-in-law now.
So they would,
Parents-in-law.
So it's similar. It's kind of like similar to Marguerite, where the people that are from there can see the potential, what's needed in the area. And at that point, when you guys bought it, it was similar to Marguerite. Like that was around the same time I would have bought my house, and everything was for sale.
Yeah.
Like literally every second house from Marguerite to Shetty Camp was for sale.
And now there's nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing for sale.
There's nothing. Or if it is for sale, it's been bought and somebody trying to flip it.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Or it's now vacation rentals. So, which is why there's a housing crisis.
Yeah. Same here.
And speaking of that, where do you guys, your staff, are they local? Or
you want to start with us, or do you want to start with staff?
Where do you house them?
It's definitely been a huge issue for us. Like the biggest hurdle, I think, through this whole project is finding staff places to live. So, we've had people in trailers. We've had people in trailers with no water. We've had people, it's just been like everything you can imagine. Right now, we have a bit of a trailer park, which is helpful.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Trailer park. And also, like the property owners that we're speaking of have started a business, and they have, built a nice building back there where staff can live right now. So we do have a couple staff in there.
Yeah.
But
that solved a huge problem. So there's a 4-person kind of like a staff accommodation right out back. So, and it's nice and new. And so we have that to offer people. So
but definitely problem. It's been a
headache,
a real slog. That's probably been one of our housing has been like for staff, and just to attract the staff here has been one of our biggest challenges as a small business, especially where it's seasonal. You're doing it every year all over again, so it's definitely but this year we didn't have any staff leave.
No shit.
They all stayed.
They all live in locally too, are they?
Yeah. People have their own houses or trailers, or live with their parents or whatever. They have their own thing going on. We don't have to worry about it.
Awesome.
Take care of themselves.
It's great.
That's been a big issue in Margaret. Alec lived in a tent all summer behind the barn. Cooked over fire, and
I've lived in a tent.
I have lived in a tent as well.
We have lived in tents.
And then
he had a mattress.
Oh, yeah,
he had his own mattress.
It makes a big difference when you have a mattress.
You're still living in a tent.
It was it's comfy.
Yeah, my tent was on a deck, and there was a mattress. So
I forgot about your tent.
Yeah,
the whole summer.
But it has been. I know Cabot brought Cabot bought the Margie Lodge, Riverview Inn. That's all for staff.
Oh, okay, well.
really?
So that's the one right in the Forks, Marguerite, when you're Route 19 and Jack's. So that's closed in the fall, and there was guys there fixing that up. I think they started work there. So that's now owned by Cabot.
Oh.
Yeah. So no more motel. So now we got to find out. Marguerite is like now missing a restaurant or a pub or something.
Right.
We don't have one. So
At all in Marguerite.
nope. We have the fire hall.
Okay.
Yep. That's kind of like,
You
pool
think it
tables
would
and
just be
BLTs.
so popular if there was a restaurant in Marguerite.
Hey, listen. I
Where's
know
the
a couple
Red Shoe
people.
pub?
Red Shoes in Mabu.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So I mean, you've got
And
Inverness.
Shedicamp has like 100 restaurants.
No, look at
Jared-
Shedicamp.
yeah.
Shedicamp's like blowing
It's
up.
got like 3,
That is like 100. Do you know how many people live there in the winter?
right?
3,000.
I know. Every time I go to Shedicamp, I'm just like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Booming metropolis.
Huge.
A health food store and a co-op with food in it.
I know.
Yeah. Well, you got to check out the co-op. There's a lot of drama on the Facebook. So if anybody's listening, you want to go to the Shady Camp bulletin board.
Ooh.
There's some nice drama every once in a while. It gets
I like
deleted
it.
when it becomes a rant, and there's a lot of like back and forth. Well, the admins delete it, so you got to be quick on it. But
It's
if you want
riveting.
you want some
Get right on
entertainment.
that.
Are we ready to do the this or that?
Are we ready for rapid fire, fire, fire?
Whoa. That was abrupt.
That was our audience.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
They're hyped.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee. Right.
What kind of tea?
I'm pregnant.
She's pregnant. She's all, her tastes are off.
Are you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We specialize
exciting.
in
is.
Congrats.
Decaf.
small business.
How do you like your eggs?
Over easy.
Me too.
Yeah. Poached.
Yeah,
I
poached.
do love a boiled egg too. Soft boiled.
Cake or pie?
Ooh, pie.
What kind?
I'll say pie, lemon meringue.
Oh, that's a good one too.
Fair. Favorite children's activity?
Not slitted.
Not sledding.
Anything that's not
Isn't
sled.
there a story there?
Favorite children. I
It's
love.
just really physical.
It's hard on the body. They get heavy.
Swimming, definitely.
Swimming, yeah,
Hands down.
definitely swimming. Reading. I love reading to my kids. Reading is so nice.
Yeah.
As they get a little older.
Smoky or Highlands Nordic?
Oh, do we have to?
Depends on the day.
Yeah, it really depends. It's
Yeah.
like, what a blessing to have both. That's all I have to say.
Have you gone to Smoky yet since they opened?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah.
Exciting.
Yeah.
Are all the runs open? I haven't been in there yet.
I mean, pretty
Yeah.
much.
I mean, they have been.
you're not supposed to go under the gondola because they don't have proper wrapping on the.
Oh, yes. Yes.
But people still do
You're not supposed to what?
go under like the run that's underneath the gondola.
Yeah. Because they don't. There's foam. They wrap around them.
Yeah, and they don't have the foam yet. They just have frozen hay bales.
Oh, that's even better, right?
Around the posts?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's fair.
Just like an ice wall. No,
Yeah.
no soft landing, just an ice wall.
No, thanks.
Darwin, though, right?
Yeah.
Super salad.
Be my kid.
Salad.
I mean, I wanted to say salad too.
What kind of salad?
Oh, we just really love salad.
I mean, you know what? I like Caesar salad.
Do you serve a Caesar salad
No,
here?
no.
Is it homemade dressing Caesar salad?
Of course.
Never
Yeah.
a store bought dressing.
I
Ever.
mean, I'm going to tell you, my sister makes it, and she uses like this anchovy
Yeah, I was just gonna ask
homemade.
that.
It's the bomb. It's so
I was going
good.
to say anchovy paste or no anchovy
You know
paste.
what? I like it.
I just love salad with all the things in it. Like
Yeah, like a super salad.
super salad,
Big
raisins.
fan of kippers.
I don't know what that
Kippers.
is.
Like a little fishy.
Like those little fish that come in the can that
Yeah.
you peel back. Yeah.
Yeah, Sara Beth's family's always eating those things.
Oh, yeah.
My husband and my child, not me. My little guy says, I'm very adventurous with food. I'm like, yeah, you will eat anything.
Fiddles or bagpipes?
Fiddles.
Fiddles all the way.
Right?
Yeah, God.
God, I can't even believe you would ask me
My
that.
sensitive ears.
And waves or waterfalls?
Waves.
Yeah, waves.
So you're a beach over river then?
Definitely. Come on.
I love the lake. The lake has a really big purpose for me when I live in a tent. I get to get clean.
It's a necessity.
But just the ocean,
Yeah. It makes you feel good, and we've got amazing beaches on this side. So
Yeah, that's the one thing that I think, maybe not nowadays, but when we were growing up, it was kind of overlooked, the beaches on the island. Well, I mean, not over here, because everybody knew about Ingonish Beach.
Yeah.
We were a little
where's
jealous.
one, though, over here? Like, people are like, we're going to the beach. And I'm like, which one? And they're like, Ingonish. I'm like, there's like 7 in the area.
Yeah.
And they're all better than that one at this given time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What, the park one is what everybody probably goes to, is it?
There's no sand there now.
There's no, of late, like, I mean, it's always goes through cycles, but there's no sand there. But like
2 years, no sand.
Yeah. North Bay Beach, like any of the little independent, like not independent, like, not
Public beaches,
park beaches are all amazing.
They're great, South Harbor Beach.
South Harbor Beach. That's where we try to send people, like,
good people.
off the track. Where should we go?
Last year, there were people complaining on one of the hiking groups. I can't believe the park took the sand out.
Oh my gosh, people think crazy things.
Whoa. Really?
Or they'll be like, why don't they send down backhoes and get rid of the rocks? And you're like, there's literally like 1 billion rocks.
They thought because of COVID, they didn't want anybody on the beach, so they removed the sand.
I can't believe that's real life.
Yeah.
That's real life.
No joke.
Oh my God. I mean, we had I got to the beach like 3 times this year, and one of the times we did, I had a retreat in, meditation, yoga retreat, and we threw a little mini beach rave. Him and I DJ
lugged all the gear down.
Where?
And DJ
Margaret Harbor Beach, like a pop up, and we took. I think there was like 20 people with the retreat, 25 people, and then I told a bunch of people at the campground, because we have full campground. I was like, go to the beach, Margaret Harbor Beach, at this time, and it was like a sunset DJ set, and we finished around 9:00, and there ended up becoming 2 families that had birthday parties down on the other end of the beach, and it was like this dance party with fires going on.
Oh, that's amazing.
Their kids were up dancing.
Oh, my kids would love that.
I had like spin fire.
Oh, do you spin fire?
Yeah, so I took.
You're like be the most popular uncle.
It's been a long time since I've done it, but I lit those up, and the kids were like vibrating, watching me do it.
My sibling also does it, and quite well. I didn't know.
Yeah.
They asked to do a fire twirling here, and my kids.
We didn't know how it was going to go. We were kind of like, and you could try it.
And like, can you come back do it tomorrow night? Like every night?
The kids were
They were just like, oh my goodness.
Yeah. It was fun. It was super fun.
Next time we're traveling up here in the summer, I'll bring them up.
Yeah.
Bye.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
People were like just driving by and turning around and driving back.
Yeah.
There
What's
you go.
going
Canary
on?
will be a permanent fixture in the front lawn. Just feed him coffee and
Give me
bagels.
coffee. Give me a place to hang my hammock.
Sure.
So,
Yeah, he's the resident hammock swinger at my place. Takes over the cookhouse.
I'm looking at this giant aloe plant.
Oh, it's thriving.
I mean, like, there's a lot of aesthetics to this place that, I mean, you can't look in a direction and not be, like, attracted to something. But that aloe plant is mental.
I don't even remember when it got so big.
Is the one right below the salty roses.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's like, it looks...
Aloes. Just, I actually had like a mangled aloe that was like in a jar. Did they all come from that one? Not that one, but those weird ones?
No, I like had bought a bunch on Kijiji like literally 10 years ago. It was like it's been a project. Anyway, last spring I repotted everything.
Yeah.
And that one is just
took off.
Yeah, it's going crazy.
Well, you guys are so talented.
Well, I've repotted now. Tell me more.
So, how do people get a hold of you? How do people find you? How do people get into touch with the things that are happening?
Oh yeah. Well, we're on Instagram.
Caitlin's very good at
Facebook.
managing the Instagram. And for bookings or questions in regard to cafe or the rooms, you contact me at periwinklecafé.cb@gmail.com. And yeah, anything jewelry or shop related, you can contact Caitlin on Instagram or
saltyroses@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Awesome. Lee's at Live Life Intense. I'm at Sounds of Fire on Instagram. And think that's it.
Thanks for coming.
Awesome. Thanks for having us. Thanks for the coffee.
us.
No problem.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Lessens the guilt of turning an espresso machine on for the two of us.
All right. See
All
ya.
right. See you later.
Bye.
Thank you.